It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 9 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a new theory for Season 9. Of course, this theory is pretty much related to the rumors about Andrew Lincoln's exit in Season 9 and about the mystery behind whether Rick is going to die, whether he's going to just be going away, or whether it's none of these and, Rick is still gonna be there, nothing is gonna happen to him. The theory actually goes in two directions. The first one relates to a new group of villains that we're gonna be introduced to in Season 9, most likely from the comics, who are called the Whispers. So the theory is that the Whispers show up, they kidnap or capture Rick, and that's when Rick disappears. So now, in terms of my opinions about this theory, I think this theory could work depending on where they go with it. So now I have a bit of my own flavor in the theory. Before I continue, I am going to get into a bit of spoilers from the comics, of course, but I'll try not to be that spoilery with this video. But of course, it's going to be difficult to do that with this video. So I'll try my best not to spoil anything for non-comic readers, but at the same time, in order to get my point across, I might have to do some spoilers from the comics. So let's say the Whispers show up and, they capture Rick. And somehow along the way, they remix a component of Negan's story from the comics at this point. When, there is some sort of meeting between the leader of the Whispers and Negan. So if they remix the story and have that whole storyline happen with Rick, and for Rick to end up doing what Negan did, that would be epic. That would be freaking epic, and I think it could work. I think that would definitely be very interesting. And of course, they could play with that a little bit. They could have Rick get captured. We won't even see him maybe for a few episodes, maybe an entire half season. Maybe he'll show up at the end of Season 9. But they give that component of Negan's story from the comics to Rick. That could definitely work, and I think it'll be interesting. And, they might even remix this story even more and have someone from the Whispers, maybe the secondary leader or someone like that, kill Rick or severely injure Rick to a point that he's gonna die because of Rick's actions. And if they really want Rick to go or die in Season 9, that would be an epic way for him to go, for him to be involved in that story. So that could definitely work. That would be very interesting. And again, I tried not to be too spoilery, but I may have spoiled something. But for comic readers, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So that could definitely be one way they could go about it. They could have Rick get captured. We won't see him for a little bit. He'll come back. We will see what he does with the Whispers. So it'll be basically what Negan does to the Whispers in the comics. And then in retaliation for what Rick has done, the Whispers will eventually kill Rick. That's one storyline. And I think if they do it right, that could definitely be extremely epic and interesting way for them to remix the story and make the Whispers have a huge impact. And also for them to give Rick an extremely epic death. So that would be one way. The secondary theory is actually not related to the Whispers at all. It's related to the helicopter. Of course, we did see not only the helicopter, but also a burned White House in the poster. But also, they have been teasing us about this helicopter. Initially, we had Rick seeing the helicopter fly away as he was walking in the woods during All Out War. And then also near the end of All Out War, we had Jadis waiting for the helicopter to show up. We still don't know what Jadis knows about the helicopter, but of course, whatever Jadis knows or Anne knows is going to be important because remember, Anne or Jadis has now joined the survivors. So whatever she knows, she will probably tell everyone, including Rick, which could possibly cause them to go out looking for whoever the helicopter is or wherever they came from. And because we did see the Capitol building, like I said, the White House in the poster, there's that possibility that that helicopter came from Washington, D.C. And that's why they go to Washington, D.C. in the first place. And maybe that's where Rick ends up getting captured and maybe a military group or something like that. But, you know, Rick might get captured and get flown away with the helicopter. He might even be flown away voluntarily to visit someplace. Going back to the discussion about Rick going away, that could be one way they could go about it. They could have Rick be taken away with the helicopter, either voluntarily or by force, and, you know, we might not see him for a little bit and then he'll come back. So that's the second way it could go. And if you want my opinions, I think the first way could work if they do it right, and it could be very epic. The second way could be an interesting storyline. It's definitely something that's not in the comics. They've been teasing the helicopter, so there's definitely that possibility that that's what the helicopter is for. And of course, with the amount of time that they've spent showcasing the helicopter, it's got to be something big. It can't just be some small storyline. So the first direction for the theory is more epic. It's more exciting, but at the same time, I could definitely see a lot of people that might be against that idea and might hate that storyline. Now, if we're talking about the second storyline, that could also happen and there's less risk involved. Rick could still be going away, Andrew Lincoln could be exiting, but he'll be coming back later. And just one more thing I want to point out, I've shared my opinion about this before, but I'm not really a fan of Rick going away and not coming back for a long time, because I think it just wouldn't work. For as big of a character as Rick is, that storyline won't work. So whatever they do with Rick, it needs to be transparent. Or if it's not transparent, it needs to be resolved within a few episodes. It can't be something that they are going to push seasons and seasons forward. But I want to know everyone's opinions about this. What do you think about these two theories, and which one do you like more? That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for future uploads. Like the Facebook page of this channel to join our Walking Dead community. Join us live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for a Q&A session. See you all there.